So I saw Escape from Tomorrow and it was pretty hard to judge. I did really like it and I will be seeing it again, but I feel like it was almost kind of a guilty pleasure in a way. For those of you who don't know, Escape from Tomorrow is a weird and fucked up film noir, filmed almost entirely in Disneyland without Disney's permission. The fact that this got a theatrical release at all is astounding. The director Randy Moore made sure that no copyrighted songs were used in the film, so although they may have been violating the rules that Disney's parks had, the film can arguably fall under fair use. And not only that, but it seems as though Disney is aware of the Streisand effect, wherein trying to censor something from public viewing often makes more people want to view it. Still, I'm curious to see if they get bit in the ass by any of the real families featured in the background of the movie who clearly did not sign release forms. Now, the reason why I say this film is hard to judge is because this is the director's first movie. It's difficult to call the movie out on certain things because it's possible that that's what the director was going for. The type of acting that I saw is something that I would call bad in a different movie, but it totally works for this one. It never really makes me feel as if the characters are real people, but it does hugely remind me of stereotypical families that would be seen in classic Disney movies, and thus raises the question, is this intentional? Whether or not certain details like that were pre-planned or just happened to work out, it is a film that I would definitely call self-aware. When it's being absurd, it knows it's being absurd, and it gets a lot more obvious near the end. Now, I think a lot of people might be put off by the film style of this movie. Some of the shots look pretty unprofessional, but given the fact that they filmed the whole fucking thing without being caught, I was less bothered by it and more interested. And a decent amount of the shots I found myself asking, how the fuck did they do that? I really like the juxtaposition of having a horrific film noir set in what's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and they also did a really good job with the music. The movie did lose a bit of respect for me at one point, where they pulled the old, hey, let's repeat that significant audio clip from earlier in case you forgot what that character said. And whereas that could be another example of them trying to attempt the absurd and surrealist Disney style, it still bothered me. But overall, pretty much everything that this movie did worked really well for this movie. I expected it to be funny, fucked up, and interesting, and I got all of those things. Mind you, a decent amount of entertainment value comes from thinking about how it was filmed. It still managed to be entertaining otherwise. I'd say watch the trailer for this, and if you think you'll like it, you will, and if you think you won't, you probably won't. And if Randy Moore's next film is any different, I guess we'll see how talented he really is. Whether or not it just happened to work, I think that it worked. And I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. Hey guys, so it's no longer the first half of November, so unfortunately I will not be getting part 3 of the Walking Dead review out in the first half of November. It is now November 16th, and anybody familiar with math knows that it is no longer the first half of November. What I aim to do with the Walking Dead Part 3 review is, even though I'll need another week-ish to get it finished up, what I aim to do is, since it's looking like it's probably going to be 4 parts, I won't really be able to post Part 3 until I have at least Part 4 almost done. So not necessarily all the music edited and everything, but at least so I know on the timeline how much time all of it's going to take up. So when I make the split and split that into 2 parts, it can be done at a place that makes sense. That way I can avoid having any issues like Part 3 being 25 minutes and Part 4 being 15 minutes and people being like, what the fuck, why is this one so short? When I could easily just make them like 20 minutes each, as long as it makes sense, I guess in a pacing wise, to make the split at that point too. So since I'm gonna have Part 3 and Part 4 done at basically the same time, Part 4 is gonna come out within the first week of December. And that way I can finally get onto a schedule where I'm not scrambling to make my YMS reviews ready for the end of the month and then fucking up and realizing I don't get a paycheck if I need an extra week to finish it. That way I can get things done at the beginning of each month, yada yada, with all the rest of the videos, etc. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about with my paycheck, visit the link below, patreon.com/YMS. It's paying my bills right now, which is you guys. And right now, if you guys are wondering exactly how I'm doing financially in that sense, now that I've shifted from working full-time at fucking buttfuck Best Buy to doing this full-time, I'm actually making close to minimum wage, about $1,600 to $1,700 a month, give or take. And that is Canadian minimum wage, assuming working full-time, which I am. And yeah, despite living in the most expensive city in North America, I'm doing pretty good, and hopefully none of you who are donating take that as, oh, he's doing fine, so I should stop donating. No, I'm kind of hanging on a thread. Remember, I'm making a minimum wage right now. I'd like to move out of this basement suite at some point, so it'd be cool if numbers kept going up. But I appreciate everybody who's donating. You guys are awesome. You're making this possible. This Walking Dead review would probably be over the course of like a fucking year if I was still working in retail. Anyway, just letting you guys know that it might be 4 parts long. There's no way in fucking hell that it's going to be more than 4 parts long. This whole review is taking a lot longer than I expected it would, but that's what I get for editing through 27 hours of film footage rather than just a standard movie length. Once this review is over, I've already got my next review planned out, as in like an actual movie for a YMS review, and that will be showing up, I guess, if the end of November for part 3 and the very beginning of December for part 4, then next YMS review after that will be very beginning of January, and I'm planning on having that done early too, because I want to be able to take a week off for Christmas. So I'm going to have everything ready, schedule myself out, plenty of fucking like thoughts on videos in between and all that jazz. And I hope you guys, especially the people who have been with me since before I made the transition to doing this full time, I hope you guys are happy with all this new content and have actually noticed the change in how things are going with this channel, and hopefully everything's better for everybody. I think so. But yeah, seriously cannot wait to get back to reviewing just regular movies. When I did have the idea to do the Walking Dead review, it was a long time ago when I thought, hey, I have things to say about season 1 and season 2. And when I made my Patreon pitch, when I was like, hey guys, put your faith in me, I thought this is the perfect time to do it, because now everybody will be like, holy fucking shit, this is a huge project, and he's obviously able to do a lot more given that he has all this time to edit now. It has taken up way more fucking time than I had ever imagined, and I have not abandoned my gaming channel. For those of you who watch my gaming channel, I just haven't been able to afford the time to play video games since September. I also haven't abandoned my vlogging channel. I have not abandoned my music channel. I just need to wait until I get back into like a regular groove. Also, really quickly, everybody in BC, this is like the final run of Sensible BC. It is November 16th. I already mentioned that, but now we have fucking 14 days to collect signatures. That's it. We need this referendum, sensiblebc.ca. Go check it out. If you're a BC resident, we need your vote. And if you're not a registered voter, you should register to vote right fucking now. You can do that online, and then by the time that the actual referendum happens, if we can get this referendum to happen, which hopefully we can, then you can vote on the referendum once it happens. Because the referendum means that you can actually vote on it. Right now we're just trying to make it so that you can vote on it. So, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez.